it's a pleasure to be in this august audience. I will begin with my career graph, how I started flying and where I got to. This is a picture of 1957. I applied for an air hostess's job. I got selected. But my mother, coming from a very conservative family, did not approve of it, adding to it the risk factor, not realizing later I will become a pilot. These are the founder trustees of our organization, Chanda Budhabatti, Rabia Fateh Ali, and yours sincerely. So we formed an organization because we wanted to promote aviation amongst women and students. This is the foundation picture when we got together, a few of us, the early birds. This is of 1984 when we had a conference in Delhi, World Aviation, Education and Safety Conference. We had delegates from all over the world, particularly from the 99s, which is an international organization of women pilots with 5,000 plus members all over the world. So when we formed the Indian Women Pilots Association, it became the 5th national organization in the world. There was Australian Women Pilots Association, US Women Pilots Association, British Women Pilots Association, French Women Pilots Association, and we became the 5th. And at that conference, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, being a Prime Minister and being a pilot, inaugurated the conference. Incidentally, on the next day, when the picture in the newspapers appeared, all the women pilots were lined up, gorgeously dressed, some in their uniform. And the paper gave a headline below the picture, Rajiv Gandhi meets air hostesses. They could never imagine pilots could be so beautiful and so good looking. Then this is our very dear Abdul Kalam ji, President of India, an amazing person. He was the president of the Aeronautical Society of India, and at a conference in Hyderabad. We met him, we spoke to him what we are doing and all, and it's amazing to relate to this man. Prem Mathur was the first lady who got her commercial pilot's license. She joined Birlas to fly their private airplane. She flew Mrs. Gandhi. Then came Captain Durba Banerjee in Kolkata. She wanted to join the airlines. There were only 2 airlines, Indian Airlines, Air India. Air India would take pilots from Air Force because of jet hours, and Indian Airlines, of course, for some period of time, when I got my commercial license in 73 from USA, there was a ban on recruitment. There were 500 jobless pilots sitting on the ground. No jobs available, working in pharmaceutical companies, banks, other places. So we came out with the idea that we will release the stamp for 50 years of women in aviation. And that's the picture. That's the first day cover, which was released in Bombay at the Nehru Science Center by Dr. Alexander, the governor of Maharashtra. I want to tell you the story of my life. I finished my SSC in 1954 from Khar, BPM High School, Babubhai Pannalal Mohanlal High School. And there was a joke, Bidi wala, pan wala, masale wala, high school. I come from that school. So then after finishing my matriculation, since I had lost my father at the age of 10, my mother was a widow at 32, she had 3 children, no supporting system. Sister got married at 16, brother went to Bharat Electronics at the age of, immediately after matriculation, with a stipend of 15 rupees. And me, I took up a job, whatever came across me, to support myself and support my education. I got a job as a packer in Dumex, erstwhile Dumex, now Pfizer's, in the packing department, filling penicillin vials on machines, 360 vials in a small little tray in 3 minutes. I said, this is so mechanical. How can I live here? I don't want a career like this. I want to get out from here. So I tried getting out. I got a job in railway as a typist. I took it up. The lure of free travel, passes. I still get 6 passes. I don't use a single. Took up the job, joined the college because it was very close to my office, Western Railway, that lovely Gothic architectural building. And joined the college. I would leave the house at 6:30 in the morning, go to the college, attend the college from 7:30 to 9:30, run to the office. 9:30 to 5:30 were the working hours. And do you know what was the salary I drew? 150 rupees per month with 3 rupees increment per year. And here I am trying to support my education, my mother, and the system. So I just grabbed it, was working, and then that was in 1956. In 1957, I read an ad in the paper saying 50 free flying scholarships are available all over India. Bombay got 5 scholarships on the basis that one went to a lady candidate. Imagine, in 57, they kept a reserved seat for a lady candidate. So forward-looking. This was Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's idea to bring flying within the reach of common man. It was considered as a royal hobby, a royal sport, afforded only by the very elite. And here is a girl working as a typist. Nobody in the family flies. I don't drive. I don't have a car. And applying for the scholarship for flying. I got so lucky. I got the scholarship. And now how do I manage? I'm studying. I'm going to work. I used to play hockey for the college. I used to play for the railways. And ultimately, I represented railways at the national level to the Indian Railways team. And how to fly. So I would tell my bosses, look, this is a lifetime opportunity for me. I'll do my work very sincerely, but give me some time. We used to get some sports time. We used to leave the office early to go and practice on the field, hockey, athletics, all that. So I took advantage of that, and they were very supportive and cooperative. Hats off to them. So I would go to college in the morning, 7:30 to 9:30, come to the office, sign the muster with boss's permission, go to Juhu from Churchgate, fly there, come back, finish my work, go to the field to play hockey. So this juggling was getting very, very difficult. Anyway, but when I got the scholarship to fly, my heart was on those planes. The planes lined up and I saw 7 planes on. I said, I'll get to fly this. I have to do something about it. So I started flying and then continued. And then there was a time frame by which I had to finish 50 hours. So they gave me an extension because my continuity was getting a little affected due to my activities. But even the instructors at the Bombay Flying Club felt that this girl needs to be promoted and we have to support her. So in 15/9, I read another. When this free flying scholarship came, I said, free? Anything free is like, it sounds great. So I applied. I saw an ad that applications from candidates are invited for GD pilots posts, qualifications, matriculation. Flying will be considered as an additional qualification. I had just pocketed about 10 hours of flying, not even holding a license. I applied for it, Auxiliary Air Force. And their hangar was just across the Bombay Flying Club, Juhu. I got no response. I walked up to them, to their office, and said, I have applied for this post, but you have not sent me a form. They looked at me and they said, "Ma'am, we are very sorry, women are not eligible." I said, "What?" I said, "Your advertisement, here it is, it says, applications from candidates are invited. It does not say applications from male candidates only are invited." So they said, "Sorry, ma'am, but we cannot help you." I said, "What do I do?" They said, "You can write to the higher-ups." I said, "Who are the higher-ups?" They said, "You can write to the air chief. You can write to the defense minister." I said, "Okay, if you guide me well, I'll do it." So I consulted a friend of mine whose brother was a lawyer. And I said, "This is the case, what do I do?" So he helped me. And then in my letter to the defense, the first defense minister, Mr. Krishna Menon, and to Air Chief Marshal, Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Mukherjee, I wrote a letter. Then I sent a letter to the press, to the editor's column. They published my letter, and in the letter I said that I applied, I got no response. They then sent me a form, and nowhere in the Constitution of India it is stated that you will be discriminated for employment opportunities on sex basis. So that letter had effect on the Air Force and the defense side. Immediately, Squadron Leader Preston was flown from Delhi to Bombay, and Squadron Leader Bhatia based in Bombay at the Auxiliary Air Force. They called me up and called me straight away for the interview. Here I am walking down to their office, and I was wearing glasses. So I put my glasses in my bag. I went there, I wished them and everything. They made me very comfortable. They were very nice. You know how the services people are. So to the ladies, they are extraordinarily polite and have respect for them. Hats off to them. So then in the interview, they're asking me, "Why do you want to encroach men even in this field?" I said, "I don't want to encroach men in this field. I want to shoulder responsibilities with them." So they say, "But do you think Indian women can make good Air Force pilots? They are so petite and small-made vis-a-vis the Western counterparts, Israel, France, and all that." I said, "But flying is a skill. Given an opportunity, we'll prove ourselves." So then they said, "Okay." They had done a ground check about me. Where is she coming from? She's flying at the Bombay Flying Club. What is her merit and all that? Then they very nicely, politely tell me, "But aren't you wearing glasses?" Since I was apprehensive about that question, my glasses were in my bag. I said, "Yes, I am. But my vision is corrected. It's 6 by 6. So they said, "Okay, can you read this?" Just about 6 feet. I read everything. Since I removed my glasses, wore my glasses. He says, "Ma'am, this is okay. But at the ultimate stage, they will stump you. We will send you for further interviews." I said, "If that's your sincere advice, I don't want to waste your time." So that was dropped there. Then we thought over it, and we came to form an organization called the Indian Women Pilots Association. This came subsequently. Prior to that, in '65, a lady from America came. She was a nurse. She was on a ship. She came to Bombay Flying Club to see if there are any women in India flying. And she saw one of our friends flying there, Rabia Fateh Ali, and she used to fly in a sari, coming from a Muslim conservative family. So she approached her and he said, "We have this organization in America called the 99s, International Organization of Women Pilots. It was formed in 1919 by Amelia Earhart. She sent out, they were all men's organizations. So she said, "Why don't we have an exclusive women's organization?" She sent out a letter to 105 women pilots flying in USA at that point of time. 99 pilots replied, and hence they gave the name 99s Incorporated, International Organization of Women Pilots. They have Amelia Earhart scholarships, and they have 5,000 plus members. But at that point of time in 65, she took the onus of making us members under their chapter, because India would not allow us to transfer membership fees in foreign currency under the RBI regulation. So they sponsored 5 Indian pilots under their head section for 5 years. Then we came together, and then me and my friends, we went to attend a convention. In 1973, I went to Oklahoma, USA, met the lady pilots over there, and it was a joke that Mohini flies, but she can't drive. And you won't believe, I started driving only when I was, I think I was 60 or something. So I had no car. Why do I learn driving when I don't have a car, right? I couldn't afford to fly. It used to cost us 10 rupees per hour in 1959 when I started. Actual cost of flying was 110 rupees an hour to fly. 10 rupees I would pay from my pocket. 10 rupees the Bombay Flying Club would pay, and the 90 rupees were paid by the government. So it was subsidized flying. Now all subsidies are withdrawn. So in 1959, when I flew at 10 rupees an hour, today it costs you how much? Take a wild guess. 10,000 rupees to fly 1 hour. I can't afford it. I still can't afford it. So I went to USA in 73, and when I told these stories to the ladies over there, the women flyers, one lady told me, come to California, come to my house, and I'll help you out to get your commercial upgraded to commercial pilot's rights. So in 73, Marian Barnick, a member of the 99s, who was a WASP, that is, she was under the Auxiliary Air Force. She was an instructor. She had her own plane. She threw the house open to me. I stayed with her for 3 months. She gave me instructions. Not a penny spent by me. Living, flying, everything. God bless her soul. Unfortunately, she and her daughter ultimately met with an accident in a commercial airline aircraft in a Dakota. So I brought my license in 73. In 74, when I was here, no jobs, 500 pilots sitting on the ground. What do I do? I said, now how do I climb the ladder? So I went back to school, college, to complete my education. I had given up my BA because of flying. Flying gets into your bloodstream. You know, you can't just resist it. So I went back, did my BA. I did 3 years of law at the Government Law College. And then I did public relations management course for 1 year. And when I went to the law college, I said, if I didn't get into aviation, let me do something different. I opted for aviation law, but Government Law College didn't have the subject. So when I didn't get a job in the Air Force, I asked my mother, was I born before time? She just laughed. Then when I went for my aviation law, they didn't have the subject. I again asked my mother, was I born before time? She says, you are not a premature baby. So it went on, and then with my qualifications upgraded, I managed to get my promotions as public relations officer in Western Railway, Konkan Railway. I worked directly under Mr. Sridharan, the renowned engineer. And we are now promoting aviation amongst children and women, and anybody is welcome to join Indian Women Pilots Association for motivation. Thank you.